Yo, what up, fam? It's Phantom. In today's video, we're going to go over how to catch my Pokemon that evolves into my favorite Pokemon, Pineco, in Pokemon HeartGold and SoulSilver. Pineco! This Pokemon evolves into my favorite Pokemon, so this has a special place in my heart. We're going to be going to Ilex Forest in order to get Pineco, but you need a Pokemon with Headbutt. In order to have a Pokemon with Headbutt, if you don't know how to do that, I'll have a video linked in the description, but basically there's a guy in the Ilex Forest that teaches you Headbutt to any of your Pokemon, and you can keep doing that. So we are going to go to Azalea Town and move over into Ilex Forest with our Headbutt Pokemon, and I'll show you how the Headbutt works once we get there, because it does depend on what you find, and there's some mechanics behind Headbutt that's a little different to explain. So now that we're in Ilex Forest, we can Headbutt any of the trees in here, and the way it works is if I Headbutt this tree and it gives me a Pokemon, it will always give me a Pokemon. But if I Headbutt it and it doesn't give me a Pokemon like it did, this tree will never give me a Pokemon in this playthrough. Another thing that works when it comes to Pineco specifically and some other Headbutt Pokemon is there are what's considered like A trees and B trees, and the A trees can't spawn Pokemon in the B trees and vice versa. So you have to keep Headbutting until you find the specific tree. And so I'm going to Headbutt and I'm going to show you a Pokemon that you could run into, and it'll tell you whether or not Pineco is in that group or not. So we can't even get lucky and find a Pokemon at all. Okay, so this one gave us a Pokemon, and it's Hoot. Both groups have Hoot in it, so we don't know whether or not this is an A group tree or a B group tree. So what we're going to do is we're going to run, and we're going to keep Headbutting that same tree, because again, it'll always give us a Pokemon until we see what group we're in. Okay, perfect. This gave us Caterpie. This Caterpie means, because I'm playing HeartGold, or am I SoulSilver? I can't remember which game I'm on. But regardless, if you get Weedle, Caterpie, Metapod, or Kakuna, none of those Pokemon can spawn on the same tree that Pineco spawns on. So this is considered an A tree. We need a B tree, or it might be vice versa. It doesn't really matter. If we see Caterpie or its evolution, and if we see Weedle in its evolution, if you're on the other game, that means it cannot spawn in this tree. So we need to move on to another tree until we can know whether or not we get a Pineco. But we know that if we see those two Pokemon, or those four Pokemon, that it can't be Pineco tree. And there's Pineco. So I've Headbutted this tree until it gave me a Pokemon. It gave me Pineco. If I Headbutt this tree and it gave me either a Beedrill, a Butterfree, or a Noctowl, that will also tell me that it's a Pineco tree. But luckily I got lucky enough to get Pineco. It's a 30% chance, so it's pretty high. It's not really terribly hard to find. But that's how you get Pineco in Pokemon HeartGold and SoulSilver. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.